My Delulu mind, maybe it's crazy, maybe it's impossible, but why does it feel so real? Japan nights, quiet streets, soft lights, and a moment that felt like a secret only they understood. Did Freen propose? Or did she slip another promise ring onto Becky's finger? No proof, no confirmation, just feelings, vibes, and a silence that speaks louder than any statement. Because sometimes love doesn't need fireworks. It hides in the tiniest gestures, the way they soften around each other, the way silence suddenly feels meaningful. And in Japan, that quiet energy between Freen and Becky felt like a moment we weren't meant to witness yet somehow couldn't ignore. Japan always gives a romantic energy, but this time something was different. Fans could feel it, an unspoken warmth between them, a softness that made the whole atmosphere shift. Whenever Becky looked at Freen, there was that tiny spark, the kind that makes your heart beat a little faster. And Freen, she had that calm, steady presence, like someone carrying a quiet truth. A simple moment, a pause, a glance. Nothing dramatic. Nothing obvious. But it felt like a question was hanging in the air, one only they understood. Some fans said it looked like Freen was holding something small. Others said Becky's smile looked different, warmer, deeper. Not proof, but enough to make our Delulu hearts scream. And then the hand moment. Too subtle to call romantic. Too gentle to ignore. A touch that didn't look like friends for fan service, it looked like a promise. When Becky quietly reached out, Freen didn't pull away. She leaned in just a little. Not too much. Not too clear. Just enough to make the entire fandom lose their minds. Maybe there was no ring. Maybe there was. Maybe it was just another quiet vow between them, made far away from cameras, far from noise, in a place where love feels safe. Japan's night air carried a soft stillness, the kind that makes every tiny moment feel heavier than it should. And in that quiet, something between them felt almost fragile. Like a secret balancing on the edge of becoming real. There was no grand gesture, no obvious sign, just a shift in the space around them. A subtle closeness that didn't look planned, didn't look staged, it looked natural. Too natural. The kind that makes your heart whisper, they're hiding something, and when their eyes met briefly, quietly, the entire energy changed. It felt like a silent confession neither of them said out loud, but both of them heard. Some moments can't be captured on cameras, only felt. This was one of them. A pause lingered between them, soft and warm, as if time slowed down just for those few seconds. No dramatic reaction. No visible emotion. Yet the atmosphere grew dense with an unspoken meaning. Fans watching from afar couldn't explain it, but they knew. This wasn't just a normal interaction. There was a tenderness, hidden beneath layers of calm, that made the scene feel almost intimate, not romantic, not obvious, just a quiet truth neither tried to hide. And then came the moment that set the fandom on fire, a tiny gesture too small to analyze, too subtle to claim, but powerful enough to make every Delulu heart believe the same thing. Something happened in Japan, the warmth, the closeness. The unspoken connection, it all pointed to a bond growing deeper in ways no one could clearly describe. Maybe it wasn't a proposal, maybe it wasn't a ring, but it felt like a promise. A silent one. Shared between two people who understand each other without needing a single word. In that quiet corner of Japan, whatever passed between Freen and Becky didn't need evidence because the feeling alone was loud enough. Japan left us with no proof, no answers, only a feeling. A quiet spark between Freen and Becky that didn't need words, didn't need clarity, just existed in its own soft, hidden way, and somehow that made it even more magical.